The holographic display exploded into fragments as Kai's coffee mug sailed through it. The human xenobiologist stood in the research auditorium, surrounded by 200 of the galaxy's most distinguished scientists, all staring at him with various eyes, antennae, and sensory organs. Sorry, Kai said, retrieving his mug. But that number has to be wrong. Vexroth, the crystalline insectoid security chief, rose with all four segmented arms crossed over his massive amber exoskeleton. His compound ruby eyes flickered as he gestured toward the reassembling hologram. The Interstellar Predator Index has cataloged apex predators from 91,000 species. The methodology is flawless. Your methodology ranked humans at 847, where 100 is moderately dangerous, Kai said, pointing at the glowing numbers. That's higher than the Vreshkian Void Serpents. Those things eat planets. Lithara, the arachnoid lead researcher, scuttled forward on her 8 multi-jointed legs, her 6-foot wide body covered in obsidian chitinous plates. Her cluster of 12 orange bioluminescent eyes in 3 rows focused on Kai as her venomous fangs retracted. The void serpents consume atmospheres, not sapient life. The index measures predatory efficiency against intelligent beings. Still doesn't explain why we're ranked above everything else, Kai muttered. Human score, 847. Nearest competitor, Krieg species at 214. Krieg, the 7-foot bronze-feathered avian, clicked his massive curved beak. His 3-clawed hands gripped the armrests as predatory golden eyes fixed on Kai. Perhaps your species excels at killing. We're academics. Half of us are vegetarian. Zenith, the aquatic amphibian station administrator, moved toward them with fluid grace. The sleek 7-foot humanoid's iridescent blue-green skin shimmered under the lights as her gill structures fluttered. Her large dark eyes with protective membranes focused on Kai as webbed fingers gestured. The index measures evolutionary optimization. Humans score catastrophically high in pattern recognition, endurance hunting, tool adaptation, group coordination, and spite-motivated persistence. Spite-motivated what? Lithara's obsidian plates rippled as she manipulated the display with her claws. Her 12 orange eyes pulsed in patterns. Humans pursue prey not for food or territory, but because the prey annoyed them. 17 documented cases of hunters tracking single animals across continents for over 5 years. That's just persistence hunting, Kai protested. For 5 years? Vexroth's exoskeleton plate shifted. Krieg's beak clicked louder. The index flagged human pack bonding. You form hunting partnerships with other species' apex predators. You mean dogs? They're pets. Domesticated wolves? Lithara corrected, her 8 legs clicking. Your species took pack predators and engineered them into hunting companions over 15,000 years. Then cats, raptors, and teaching dolphins military tactics. The dolphin thing was one program. Zenith's translucent fin-like crests along her forearms rippled as she moved closer. Her gill structures pulsed rhythmically. One too many. The committee is adding a multi-species predator coalition multiplier specifically because of humans. The auditorium erupted. 200 aliens shouted, clicked, whistled, and flashed. Vexroth slammed all 4 arms on the podium. The bang echoed. Order! We must determine if humans pose a threat to galactic stability. Based on a spreadsheet? Based on projections, Lithara said, pulling up a chart. Her 12 eyes focused on different data points. Extrapolating human predatory behavior. In 400 years, humans will dominate 73% of habitable systems. Through violence? No, Krieg said quietly, feathers ruffling. Through friendship. The auditorium went silent. Krieg stood, his raptor frame casting shadows. Humans don't conquer, they befriend. They establish cultural exchange programs and trade partnerships. Within 3 generations, the other species considers humans essential. Perfect predatory strategy make the prey invest in the predator's success. That's diplomacy. Is it? Zenith's protective membrane slid across her large dark eyes as her webbed hands spread expressively. Her spine crest shimmered with subtle color shifts. Humans establish emotional bonds, create dependencies, then when conflicts arise, the other species can't imagine life without humans. You've domesticated 17 species. We have not. Lithara's display shifted to demographics, her legs adjusting position. Her 12 eyes blinked in sequence. The Centauri Collective celebrates human holidays. The Andorian hives restructured their government for human voting. The Whisper Nebula communes altered reproduction cycles to synchronize with human academic calendars. Kai stared at the data. Those were all voluntary changes. Exactly. Vexroth said, his amber exoskeleton gleaming under the harsh lights. You never force anything. You just make other species want to do what benefits you. It's more insidious than conquest. This is insane, Kai said, backing toward the exit. You're describing normal social behavior as some kind of predatory conspiracy. Normal for humans, Krieg countered, blocking the doorway with his 7-foot frame. His bronze feathers stood on end, making him appear even larger. The index compared your normal social behavior to 91,000 other species. No one else operates like this. Kai looked around the auditorium at 200 alien faces, crystalline, chitinous, feathered, amphibian, and forms he couldn't even categorize. All of them were staring at him with expressions ranging from fear to fascination. So, what now? Kai asked. You lock me up? Quarantine Earth? Worse, Zenith said, her iridescent skin darkening to a deeper blue-green as her gill structures fluttered anxiously. The fin-like crests along her forearms and spine flattened against her body. We need you to present the findings to the Galactic Council. Why me? Because, Vexroth said, all 4 arms gesturing helplessly, you're the only human in this sector, and if we present this data, they'll think we're the ones being paranoid. Coming from a human, it might seem like honest self-awareness rather than xenophobic fear-mongering. You want me to tell the council that my species are super predators? Not super predators, Lithara corrected, her obsidian plates clicking together as she shifted her massive arachnoid body. Her 12 orange eyes dimmed slightly in what might have been diplomatic concern. The single most effective predatory species in known galactic history, with an optimization score that exceeds all previously documented apex predators combined. That's so much worse. Krieg's beak clicked in agreement. Yes, but technically accurate. Kai slumped into a nearby chair. The metallic seat was designed for someone with a different skeletal structure and incredibly uncomfortable. What if I refuse? Then we present it ourselves, Vexroth said, his compound eyes reflecting fragmented images of Kai. And the council will assume we're trying to undermine human expansion for political reasons. There will be investigations, sanctions, possibly military intervention. Humans will be portrayed as victims of discrimination, which would make other species sympathize with us more, Kai realized. Exactly. Zenith's skin flashed through rapid color changes blue to green to silver as her webbed hands gestured emphatically. Her gill structures opened wide in agitation. You see? You're already thinking 3 moves ahead. That's predatory thinking. It's just basic logic. For a predator! Lithara's 8 legs clicked rapidly against the floor in agitation, her manipulator claws gesturing at the data. Most species think 1, maybe 2 moves ahead maximum. Humans automatically run probability scenarios for entire cascading consequence chains. Kai rubbed his temples. Fine, I'll present to the council. But I'm adding a footnote that this entire index is probably flawed. Acceptable. Vexroth agreed, all 4 arms relaxing slightly. 3 days later, Kai stood in the Galactic Council chamber, a massive circular room with transparent energy barriers separating different atmospheric zones, harsh white observation lights flooding down from the domed ceiling, and delegates from 83 species arrayed in elevated seats around the central platform where he stood on reinforced floor panels. He'd prepared a diplomatic presentation. Charts, graphs, carefully worded explanations of methodology limitations. Then he saw the Vreshkian Void Serpent delegate a creature that had literally consumed 3 inhabited moons ranked at 93 on the Predator Index. Kai abandoned his notes. So, apparently I'm scarier than a moon-eating space dragon, he began. The council chamber erupted into confused chittering, honking, and bioluminescent flashing. The Vreshkian Delegate, a massive tentacled entity that existed partially in different dimensional phases, rippled with what might have been offense. The council chair being a sentient coral formation named Reef, pulsed calming blue lights from its limestone structure. Ambassador Kai, please explain the Interstellar Predator Index findings. Gladly. Kai pulled up the holographic display. A bunch of xenobiologists, including several humans, developed a comprehensive index measuring predatory optimization across known species. Humans scored 847 out of a theoretical maximum of 1,000. Everything else maxed out at 214. Silence. Then one delegate, a crystalline sphere that communicated through light refraction, asked, "How?" "Spite, apparently," Kai said. "Also, friendship, endurance, tool use, pattern recognition, and our tendency to adopt other species' predators as pets. Oh, and we once hunted mammoths by annoying them until they fell off cliffs, which the index classified as psychological warfare." A delegate that looked like ambulatory moss asked, "Is this a threat?" "No," Kai said quickly. "It's a warning that the index might be measuring the wrong things. Sure, humans are persistent and creative, but we're not trying to take over the galaxy." "Aren't you, though?" This from a methane breather in an environmental suit. "Humans now have cultural exchange programs with 47 species, trade agreements with 62, mixed species colonies on 39 worlds. You're everywhere. Because people keep inviting us." Kai gestured at the assembled delegates. "Half of you have human scientific advisors because we volunteered for boring data analysis jobs that no one else wanted." "Exactly," said Reef, coral polyps extending thoughtfully. "You identify unmet needs and fill them. You make yourselves essential. Then you leverage those relationships into expanded influence. We're just being helpful. That's what makes it so effective." The Vreshkian delegate boomed, its dimensional ripples causing reality to shimmer around its containment zone. "I consume moons because I'm hungry." Everyone understands hunger. But humans? You integrate so thoroughly that separating you from our civilizations would cause economic collapse. It's a perfect trap. Kai stared around the council chamber at 83 species, all nodding, flashing, or rippling in agreement. "You're all serious right now." "Profoundly," Reef confirmed, its coral structure pulsing steady blue. "So, what happens now?" Kai asked. "Restrictions on human travel? Quotas on cultural exchange?" "Don't be absurd," Reef said. "We're going to offer humans a permanent seat on the Galactic Council." "What?" The crystalline sphere delegate refracted urgent patterns of light. "If humans are the galaxy's most effective predators, we'd rather have them inside our governing structure than outside it. Keep your friends close and your super predators closer." "That's not how that saying," Kai stopped. "Wait, you're giving humanity galactic political power because we're scary?" "Because you're effective," Reef corrected, polyps waving gently. "And because, as the Talaxian military observer noted, you don't conquer through violence. You integrate. So we're choosing integration on our terms rather than waiting for it to happen on yours." Kai looked at the holographic display, still showing his species' predator score in glowing numbers. "This is the weirdest diplomatic victory in human history." "Is it a victory?" the methane breather asked. "Or is it exactly what your species wanted?" "I didn't even know about this index until 3 days ago. But now humans have council representation," the ambulatory moss pointed out. "Convenient timing." "This is insane," Kai shouted. "We didn't plan any of this." "Didn't you?" Krieg's voice came from the observation booth above. The bronze-feathered raptor leaned over the railing with his predatory golden eyes fixed on Kai, his three-clawed hands gripping the metal barrier. "Humans sent a xenobiologist to present findings about human predatory behavior. Someone whose job is studying other species' weaknesses. Someone trained in cross-cultural communication and diplomatic protocols. Someone who would make humans seem non-threatening while simultaneously demonstrating exactly how threatening they are." Kai froze. "That's not." "I didn't." But looking around at the council delegates, seeing their fear mixed with reluctant admiration, Kai realized something horrifying. It didn't matter whether he'd planned it or not. The result was the same. Humanity now had a council seat. And everyone was terrified it had been the plan all along. Motion to grant humanity Galactic Council representation. Reef announced, its coral structure brightening. All in favor? 83 delegates voted yes. Several looked like they wanted to vote no, but were too afraid of seeming like they opposed human integration. Motion passes, Reef declared. Ambassador Kai, congratulations. Your species is now officially part of galactic governance. Kai stood on the central platform under harsh white lights, surrounded by transparent barriers separating atmospheric zones, watching holographic documents formalize humanity's new political status. In the observation booth, Vexroth's crystalline form caught the light, all four arms crossed. Through another viewport, he could see Lithara's massive arachnoid body, her 12 orange eyes all focused on him, her 8 legs shifting nervously. Krieg's bronze feathers ruffled with what might have been respect or fear. I need to call Earth, Kai said weakly. Of course, Reef agreed, coral polyps retracting slightly. Please inform your government that we've prepared orientation materials for their new council representatives. Also, we're tripling funding for the Predator Index project. Why? Because the Vreshkian delegate boomed, reality shimmering with its dimensional presence. If humans scored 847, we need to know what species could score higher, and we need to find them before humans do. The implication hung in the air. Before humans befriended them, before humans integrated them, before humans made them essential parts of the galactic economy. Kai left the council chamber in a daze, walking through the data archive corridor with its emergency red strip lighting and exposed conduits running along the ceiling. Behind him, he could hear delegates already arguing about human committee assignments, human trade provisions, human cultural impact assessments. His communicator buzzed. Message from Earth's diplomatic corps. Heard you got us a council seat. Well done. We weren't expecting results this fast. Kai stared at the message. This fast. As if they'd been planning for him to get results eventually. He thought about the Predator Index, about spite-motivated persistence, about humans hunting single animals across continents for 5 years just because the animal had annoyed them. He thought about making friends with wolves and turning them into dogs. He thought about establishing cultural exchange programs that made other species dependent on human participation. He thought about 17 species that had voluntarily restructured their societies to accommodate human preferences. And he thought about how he'd just convinced the Galactic Council to give humanity political power by explaining exactly how dangerous humans were. Kai looked down at his hands, the hands of a species optimized over millions of years for throwing weapons, manipulating tools, and gesturing to coordinate group hunts. Oh, he said quietly to the empty corridor with its reinforced doorways every 20 meters. Oh no. His communicator buzzed again. Another message from Earth. Also, we're sending 300 more xenobiologists to help with your research. They'll be arriving next week. We've already established preliminary contact protocols with 68 new species in the outer sectors. 300 more humans, studying alien species, learning their cultures, making friends, and 68 new species already being integrated into humanity's expanding network. The red emergency lighting seemed suddenly appropriate. Kai pulled up the Predator Index on his personal display one more time, looking at that glowing number. 847. And somewhere in the back of his mind, the part optimized for pattern recognition and long-term planning, he wondered what humanity's score would be in another 100 years. After 300 more xenobiologists had been deployed, after 68 more species had been befriended, after the council seat gave humanity access to classified data on every known civilization's cultural weaknesses and economic dependencies, he wondered if the index had actually measured anything at all, or if it had simply revealed what the galaxy was already too afraid to admit. That the most dangerous predator wasn't the one with the sharpest claws or the biggest teeth. It was the one that made you want it around. Then he deleted the thought and went to start writing his report. After all, humans were helpful like that.